Okay, guys, so before we really get started, I'm going to take literally just a minute to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hope Weston, and I'm a diamond leader with It Works. I've been in since September of 2015, and I am just obsessed with this company. For anyone who knows anything about the color personalities, I am a red. I am money motivated, I am ambitious, and I have just absolutely loved growing and learning in this company. So a lot of the things that we're going to talk about on this Zoom today are action based. And so it's going to probably come out a little red, right? I don't mean to say that you don't have things going on in your life. I don't mean to say that situations don't come up where you have to make personal choices about your priorities, and no one is asking you, not to pick your family, not to pick the things that are important to you. But what I want you guys to understand about this Zoom specifically is that we're talking about getting stuff done and how to get stuff done. I'm not saying I won't answer your specific questions, but I'm saying is if I start hearing like, well, I work this many hours a week, well, I have school, well, I have kids. We all have those things, y'all. We all have those things. We are all busy. It's all crazy. It's all life. This Zoom is about the actions that you can take between that, how to organize yourself, how to get yourself on a daily minimums list, and how to have better time management so that you can do these things around all these other things that are happening. But I'm definitely not here. We're not throwing a pity party for ourselves about how busy we are. Let me put it that way. Because when I got started, I was working 60 hours a week. I was working at a grocery store and I was working as a bartender. I was pulling 16 or 17-hour days, 3 days a week, on top of 3 classes, on top of planning my wedding. So when people tell me that they don't have time to work this business, I chuckle a little bit, because nobody starts this business because they have time. Nobody starts this business because they have money. If you have money and time, you don't need this business, right? So this is all about how we use these IPA. And if you don't know what IPA is, it's income producing activities. And there is, as all of us know, unless you're literally brand spanking new, and actually more so if you're brand spanking new, there is 100,000 different things that you can do for your business, right? Like there is a ton of different things you can do with your business. There's so much training. There's so many different ways that you can post, that you can interact with people, that you can, blitz, all of these things. But income producing activities is what makes you money. That is the income producing activity. So if you are doing things that are not an income producing activity, you're not producing income, right? Does that make sense? So a lot of the times when we get so caught up in our business and we feel like we don't have a lot of time and we feel like a chicken running around with our head cut off and we're not sure what to do next, it's probably because we're implementing too many non-income producing activities into our day. And the reason that we are, like I just said at the beginning, the reason that we're in this business is not because we have time and money, it's because we want time and money. So let's kind of jump right into it. And then I'm not going to take any questions until the end because I think I'm going to answer a lot of your questions. But then obviously if you have questions at the end, I am more than happy to answer them. And then this is just my disclaimer, like, I'm just a diamond. I'm not a black diamond yet. I have not learned it all. I do not know it all. This is just from my experience, working my tail off, working 2 jobs, going to school, planning my wedding, and I promoted 3 times during that time in my life. So this is just what I have learned and what I continue to learn every day in this business. So what are your top 3 income producing activities in this business? When you boil it right down to like what makes you money, number 1 is talking to people. Talking to people makes you money. Talking to new people, I don't mean old people as an age. I mean like people who you already know, your warm market, right? And building those connections with people so that they trust you and they understand who you are and what you're offering. That is your number one income producing activity. That's your messaging. That's your conversations. That's your following up with people. That's blitzing people, right? That is the number one thing that's going to make you money, because the more people you talk to, the more people you're going to find that are interested, the more people that you're going to sign up, because you're talking to more people. So that's your income producing activity number one. Just straight up talking to people, new people, old people, people on your Instagram, people on your Facebook, people at the grocery store, everybody. Okay, so then your income producing activity number two is meeting new people or expanding your circle, right? So growing your hundreds list. Those of us who work on social media have kind of gotten away from the idea of like a classic hundreds list. But back in the day before social media, your hundreds list was basically you had a piece of paper, and every new person that you met out in the world and you got their phone number or you got their email or whatever, you would put them on this list, and this was a list of people that you were going to reach out to. So your second income producing activity is growing your hundreds list. It's meeting new people. For those of us on this team who primarily work on social media, that means you're adding new people on Instagram, adding new people on Facebook, but it also means that you're joining groups. And I don't just mean Facebook groups. I mean, go to church, play a sport, take a class, have play dates with your kids, friends, like parents, and talk to them. Be open to new connections. Do not go around out in the world going, I work on social media, so like, don't talk to me. Like, if you're in line at Starbucks, you should be meeting the people around you at Starbucks. Like, if you join this business and you don't like to talk to people, then you might be in the wrong business, because that is literally what we have to do. You have to grow your audience, grow your hundreds list. So income producing activity number one, talking to people. Income producing activity number two, meeting new people, growing your circle. And then number three, income producing activity is your follow-up and your consistency. Follow up and consistency. So this includes posting every single day, posting on your Instagram, posting on your Facebook, posting on your Instagram story, posting on your Snapchat, like, so that people can see that you're active and people get little sneak peeks of your life, because it makes you just more realistic. And then your follow-up. Following up with people. I'm going through my Facebook friends right now, and I don't know about you guys, but I am finding so many people who like slipped through the cracks, and that just makes us look unprofessional. Like, if you hit somebody up about trying the products and they say, yeah, I'm interested, and then the conversation falls off and you never get back to them. Like, if somebody, like, I've had people message me like with makeup companies and stuff, and they'll be like, oh yeah, girl, you want to try our new mascara, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, like, I'll think about it after I get paid. And they're like, okay. And then I never hear from them again. So I never order. And it's just not like super professional. So you following up is an income producing activity. Your consistent excitement and your consistent action of doing the other two income producing activities. You're consistently talking to new people. You're consistently finding new people to talk to. That's it. That's the money right there. Is talk to new people, meet new people, and follow up with the people that you've been talking to, and have that consistency and that excitement. So going off of this idea of removing things from your business and from your life that are not income producing activities, as much as I love to marathon all of the Harry Potter movies, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is not an income producing activity, right? Like, I can't just like be like, that doesn't make me money. And if you want to make money, you have to do income producing activities. So I want to talk about daily minimums. And this isn't, I'm not talking about doing the minimum. I'm not saying like, oh, just do the minimum in your business and it'll be fine. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I want you guys to understand what I mean by your daily minimum. So your daily minimum, whatever your goal is, and it should be at least your steps to success, y'all. But I know we've got some people on here that do it 2, 3, 4 times in a month. So your goal should be at least steps to success, right? That's 4 customers and 3 distributors. So your daily minimums are, how many people do you need to message to sign 4 customers and 3 distributors? Or if your goal is to do your steps to success twice, how many people do you need to talk to sign 8 customers and 6 distributors? How many people do you need to talk to? Some days, on a good day, I send 25 messages, I get 5 new PLCs, I get 5 new PDTs, like, it's a great day. Some days I need to send like 200, but it's all about finding what that minimum is for you and your business. How many new people do you need to add to your social media in a month? How many new messages do you need to send in a month? How many posts do you need to make in a month? How many follow-ups do you need to do in a month to hit your goals? That is your daily minimum. So what I suggest is giving yourself a daily minimum that pushes you but doesn't kill you. So for example, if someone, like for me, who's been in the business for 2 years, my daily minimums are like 100 new messages, like sending out at least like 500 follow requests on Instagram. It's so easy to like send out follow requests on Instagram, putting up 3 or 4 posts a day. And I'm doing that every single day. And that's my minimum. And so what I mean by that is that if I have work at my part-time serving job, if I have a family function, if my husband needs me, I'm still getting my minimums done. But then if I have a good day and I'm off and my dog's behaving and my husband's at work all day, then maybe I send out 150 messages. Maybe I send out 200 messages. But your minimum never changes and you never go a day without doing it. And that's why you build a daily minimum for yourself. So let's say you've never done a daily minimum before and you're like, I have absolutely no clue where to start, Hope. I'm like brand new. So for your daily minimum, I would definitely say like 10 people an hour, every hour that you can would be a good start with messaging. So if that means you only have 5 times a day that you can sit down and send 10 messages, that's 50 messages. Make sure you're adding at least 100 on Instagram, at least, and like at least 20 on Facebook, and like at least 3 posts on Facebook and Instagram. But if you start doing that, you start doing your daily minimums, you start rocking out 50 messages and 100 follows and 3 posts, and you're not seeing the kind of results that you want to see, you better up your minimum. And that's why you make a daily minimum for yourself. Because next week or in 2 weeks or in February, if you've been doing your minimum and it's not cutting it and you're not doing your steps to success, or you're not doing your steps to success twice, or whatever it is that your goal is, you know that you need to do more. You know that your minimum needs to go up. So come up with that number for yourself and then just start doing it and then readjust as you need to hit your goals. Like I said, sometimes I have great days and I will send out 100 messages and I'll like get it on the spot LC, get 10 new PDTs. Like, it's awesome. But I mean, Allie was talking about it the other day. She was saying, you know, sometimes I have to send out 500 messages and I still get diddly squat. Like, it just depends on the day and on the season. So just remember that your minimum, you have to match your minimums to your goals, is basically what I'm saying. Do not expect to message 10 people a day and be able to do your steps to success every month. Don't message 50 people a day and expect to do your steps to success 3 times in a month. Like, it's just not logical. It's not going to happen for you. But if you're messaging 200, 300, 400 people a day, you could probably pop out 2 or 3 steps to success in a month. You could probably make that happen. It just depends on you and your goals and your personal minimums. So, do it no matter what, and then do more if you can. That's really the point of it, right? Because I know so many people who come to me and they say, Hope, I've got a full-time job. Hope, I've got 7 kids and 2 cats. Hope, I've got 17 units in school and I have to walk a mile there and back in the snow each way. Like, I have all of these people that say these things, no matter what your day looks like, your kids are throwing crap everywhere, your dishes are piled up to the ceiling, you've got 7 hours of homework, you will still do your daily minimums because that's what they are, and you're going to put them on paper. What I actually suggest is getting yourself one of those plastic, like, things that you can stick a piece of paper in and get your daily minimums in there, and then use an expo pen every day and cross them off as you go. That way you know you're doing them, and you best not go to sleep until they're all crossed off, if this is what you really want, if this is what you're really serious about and what you want to do. So I want to talk about time management. I don't see her on here. Hold on, just give me just a moment. I'm going to see if she okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is time management. So just to like recap for those of you who got on a little bit later, your income producing activities are talking to people, meeting new people, growing your hundreds list, and following up and being consistent. Those are your income producing activities, and everything outside of that is not what you need to be focusing your time on. So if you're focusing on anything other than posting, talking to new people through messaging and blitzing, talking with your warm market, and like, I'm serious about this, y'all. If you have not messaged all your friends and family yet, like, what are you doing? You got to go do it. You got to go do it like right now, because your fear of messaging them is silly. What did Jade say on her call the other day? A ketchup packet is more real than your fear of messaging your best friend from 7th grade. So that's not real. You're just nervous. I messaged my best friend from elementary school who stabbed my little 12-year-old self in the back, and I hadn't even forgiven her up until 3 days ago, but she ordered the greens today because I had the balls to message her. So that you just have to be like, you know what? That was 11 years ago. I know she stole my 10th grade boyfriend, but I'm gonna get over myself and ask her if she would like to try some products. Like, you have to go into your phone and find the person you're most scared to message and write them a personal message and send it to them. Okay. So yeah, talking to new people, meeting new people, adding on social media, joining groups, go to church, go to a class, go to join a sport, be open to new connections when you're out and about in your life, when you're going to the vet, when you're going to the doctor, when you're picking up your Starbucks, all that good stuff. And then just being consistent, posting every day and making sure you're following up with people and making sure you're staying organized. And then finding your daily minimums and doing it every day. So now I want to talk just a little bit about time management, because I know this is where it catches people. Like, the rest of that sounded great, right? Like, the rest of you guys were like, yeah, I'm going to talk to new people. Yup, I'm going to add new people. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to post. I'm going to be excited. And then you actually get into your daily life and you're like, I don't have time to do this. My kids are crazy and I have 9 cats and I just can't. You know what I mean? So let's talk about time management. I think the most important thing, guys, is just use your time wisely. Like, Ali just said this in her live video, but like, don't get caught in the scroll hole. Like, do not think that you like scrolling through and watching BuzzFeed videos is an income producing activity, because I like a good recipe video as much as the next girl, but it is not making me money. So you have to delete all of the apps on your phone that don't help you with your business, that can be distracting to you. Like, literally go on your phone right now, like delete your Solitaire, delete your Candy Crush, delete Tinder, like get it out of there, and only have your Pick Tap Go, your Facetune for the days you don't want to wear makeup, and your Instagram and your Facebook Messenger, and that's about it. And then using your time wisely also means, like, when you get home from work, I do this all the time. When you get home from work or a class or like a day off, like, the very first thing you want to do is like, You guys know what I mean? You want to like take off your shoes, you want to take off your clothes, like you want to eat something, you want to like you want to just fall on the couch. Okay, so here's what I've been doing when I get off work. I take off my shoes, but before I even sit down, I like pull out my phone and I put in my headphones and I put on some personal development and I get to work. Because then my brain doesn't have a chance to turn off from being at work. Like, don't think like, oh my gosh, I just got off work. Like, I'm going to take a minute. Like, no, your brain is in work mode. Like, you're getting home from work or class or whatever it was you were just out doing. So your brain is still on. I can guarantee you, if you get home, you sit down all your stuff and you get in your PJs and you sit down on the couch, the chances of you getting stuff done are far less than if you would have just been like, all right, I just got home, kick off my shoes. I don't even change a lot of the time. I'll just be sitting here with my Applebee's name tag on, like messaging people. Because then when I'm done, and I am done at some point in the night, guys. This is what's so great about time management. When I'm done with this meeting, I have to message a few more people on my Facebook friends list to like hit my daily minimum. And then I'm going to go sit on the couch. It's going to be 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to be done because I did all my stuff for the day. So there is an end if you use your time wisely and if you do all the things in a day that you need to get done. So breaking it up into smaller pieces. This is something that I think a lot of people who work, go to school, have kids, will like a lot, and I hope that it helps some of you. So what I've been telling my team is to break up your business into 10 or 15-minute pieces. And every time you sit down for 10 or 15 minutes, all you're doing is income producing activity. So you can even set a timer. If you need to tell your husband, I need you to watch the kids for 15 minutes, I'm setting a timer. I'll be out when I'm done. If you have a 30-minute break at work, go sit down somewhere for 15 minutes of your 30-minute break and do these things. So break it up into smaller pieces. In 10 or 15 minutes, here's what you can do. You can make a post. You can add people on Facebook and Instagram, and you can get out at least 10 messages, but like, if not more. At least 10 messages, if not more. So every time you go to sit down, it should be 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. You should be able to do all of your income producing activities when you sit down. So that alone should not make it so you go, so I know that there's people, and maybe you're not on the Zoom, but I know there's people on my team that do this. They wake up too late to work their business, right? They wake up too late. And so then they're like, well, snap. Okay, I don't have time. So now they're rushing through their day and they get to work and then they get on their break at work and they have so much to catch up on in group chats and messages. They're like, oh my gosh, I'll just do it when I get home. And then they get home and then they make dinner and then they get the kids bathed and in bed. Well, now it's 9 o'clock at night and they haven't done one thing for their businesses. And now they are completely overwhelmed. They're completely overwhelmed. They haven't posted. They haven't messaged anyone. They haven't added anybody. And so, you know what a lot of people are going to do? They're just going to go to bed, or they're going to drink a beer and watch Netflix and go to bed. Like, they're not going to say, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything all day. I better do it now. They're going to go, oh, I haven't done anything all day. I'll try again tomorrow. But then the same thing happens tomorrow. Like, the same thing happens tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So I know that days get crazy, and I know that there are sometimes things that happen. Casey's talking to me right now. I know that she works a crazy job where she's there for like 12 hours and it's insane. But I also know that if you can break up your business into smaller pieces, wake up 15 minutes earlier and work your business for 10 minutes. Go on your lunch break and sit your booty down for 10 minutes and do your income producing activities. Do it when you get home from work. Sit outside your house and do 10 minutes. And then get inside your house and make dinner and whatnot, and then do another 10 minutes. You guys get what I'm saying? Is this making sense to everybody? Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't let yourself get to the end of the day and then feel like crap because you haven't worked your business all day, and let that stop you from doing what you need to do. Those of us who have gotten to a certain point in our business where we have the freedom of time to work our business for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, like that's awesome, but that's not realistic for so many people who are still just looking to hit those first 2 or 3 promotions. When I started this business, I was working 2 jobs, 60 hours a week, 3 classes, and planning my wedding. Every spare minute, every spare penny was allocated. So I didn't even have a phone when I started. I don't know if I ever tell this part of my story. I didn't even have a phone when I started. I had this Google Chrome. I'm going to turn my thing around so you guys can see it. I had this Google Chrome laptop. It's not even like a nice laptop, guys. It doesn't even like run normal programs like most computers do. It's like all, like it's nothing. Like it's all Google based. So I didn't even have a phone when I started this business. So what I would do is I would take my dinky Chromebook with me in my backpack. Well, I would wake up first. I would wake up 30 minutes earlier than I needed to, which was usually like 6 a.m. And mind you, I was usually getting home at like midnight. So I was legit getting like 6 hours of sleep. So I would wake up at 6 a.m. I would get on my laptop. I would make a post. I would add a few people on. Obviously, I couldn't add on Instagram too easily. So I was mostly working Facebook at this exact time. But I would add a few people. I would make a post and I would send out a few messages. And then I would go to work. And on my lunch break at work, I would hook up to our work Wi-Fi on my Chromebook. And I would put up another post and I would add a few more people. I didn't do any texting, Laura. I was all Facebook Messenger. I got a phone after a week and a half of starting. Oh, what's up, Laura? Not Laura. Whitney's on Laura's Zoom. Sorry. No, you're fine. Allie. I was on Facebook Messenger. It was all I had for a week and a half of my business. That was just my life. And then I got an iPhone and it's been hunky-dory ever since. But I will tell you guys, like, people give me you guys have just heard me mention a bunch of them because I like to get silly and creative. But I have heard every excuse in the book and I just like to throw back. Like, I didn't even have a phone when I started. I was working 17-hour days when I started. I was in 3 classes and failing all of them because I was so exhausted. And I was planning, producing, orchestrating, and paying for my entire wedding by myself. And it was only like, I think it was only like 6 months away when I joined. So like, set your stuff up in advance. I know that Jade like doesn't do that, but that was my lifesaver. Whatever my day off was, even though I didn't have days off, whatever day I had school, but I didn't have work, I would sit down and I would set up posts in advance. I would save posts. I would take selfies. I would write captions. I would take captions from other people and change them up. I would legit get like 30 posts in my notes and have pictures saved in my camera roll so that I could I had them on me throughout the week when I needed to have them. And then, use your time wisely and break it up into smaller bite-sized pieces. If you know that you're going to have a horrendously busy day, wake up 30 minutes earlier. Make those deals with your husband. I'm going to be in here with the door closed and locked for 15 minutes. When I get out, I promise I will watch them until they go to sleep. But I need 15 minutes. Okay? All right. That is pretty much all I have in terms of information. I'm going to go back here and see. Tiffany, that's super funny. I call it Crapplebees. That's not nice, but I really don't like working there. You guys have any other questions for me about your specific schedule and what I would suggest? Any struggles or obstacles that you're personally facing? If you need help coming up with your daily minimums, y'all can also follow me on Facebook and message me if you need something. And I think that's it. Unless you guys have more for me.
Wait, Hopi.
Yes.
Hopi. Wait a minute. So I actually, this is so funny, but I had one of my teammates and she's on here. So I figured now would be the best time to ask you. she was talking about how now this girl is like on fire, literally like killing it.
Awesome.
Enrolled 4 customers today. Like, yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
get it.
But she said she's so during the day and she has 2 kids. She's a stay-at-home mom. But she said because she's been enrolling so many customers, she's having so many conversations that she forgets to post. And all of a sudden, she's like, oh my gosh, it's been 8 hours and I haven't put a post up. But I mean, she's been talking to people, so she's working her business. So how did you train your brain? Because I know you've been doing it long enough that your brain just it's like an automatic reflex, like posting time. But how did you train your brain to do that?
I mean, honestly, it's so funny to me, but I think posting was the very first thing that like made sense to me. Like I started my business and I was like, oh yeah, I need to post on Facebook. Like duh, like if I'm going to be like offering something, if I'm going to be sharing something, promoting something, like I need to be posting about it. And so literally that was one of the things that got me like 6 customers my first week or whatever, is because like I did that thing where like you reserve some of the wraps in your kit like before you even get started. So the 2 days before I even got started, guys, I was like posting before and afters and was like, try this like don't do this, but I was like, try this crazy wrap thing for $25 like on my little Google Chromebook, no emojis, like so bad. But I did, and it was just so here's what I would suggest though for somebody who's like, holy moly, like I cannot make myself post. Set, like I just mentioned to you guys, set up posts in advance. Like literally, like when you do have a second, when your kids are asleep, when you have a minute to put your brain on straight, write out like 5, 6, 7 life posts, write out 5, 6, 7 product posts. If Allie's your upline, she kills it with posts all the time. Go to her page, like take a couple of them, switch them up, change the emojis, make them like get inspiration. You know what I mean? Like you like use like get all of your ducks in a row, get all of your get all of your posts set up, get all of your pictures saved in your camera roll, and then when you have that moment where you're like, oh snap, it's been 8 hours, then it's not like, oh my God, it's been 8 hours and also I have no idea what to post. You can be like, it's been 8 hours, but I got this because I got like 9 captions saved and I can just snap a picture of my kids real quick and talk about that, girl. Be like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's been the craziest day. I have been talking to so many people. My kids are driving me up a wall, but like this business is so much fun and I'm so grateful. And that maybe that is the first post you make and it's like 8:00 at night. And it's true. And it's going to make people excited. They're going to go, she's talking to so many people. She didn't even get to post until 8:00 at night. There's a lot of people who want this business. You guys know what I'm saying? I hope that helps. Like, just be wherever you are, but just set yourself up for success in advance. Like, help. Yeah. I mean, and it is a habit. I mean, it's just like anything else. It's a habit. Like, it's something that you have to grow into. Obviously it took me a minute to be able to post like 3 or 4 good quality posts in a day and not just, I'm pretty sure my second post was just like a before and after and all I typed was like, wow. And I just posted a before and after. Like I had no idea what I was doing, guys. And it's just proof that you don't have to have any idea what you're doing to get the ball rolling and to be successful. So I think that okay, she finally just got on. My girl, Danielle, is a diamond on my team. And I know she like just hopped on because she's the busiest person I have ever met. But I'm going to have her just touch really quickly on like what she does for her time management. And I'll just give you the laydown real quick. Last year, Danielle was working full-time as an assistant manager at one of the grocery stores from the chain of grocery stores I used to work at. She was doing a unpaid internship. She was finishing her bachelor's degree, and she went diamond in April. So homegirl, legitimately the busiest person that I know. Obviously her life has settled down a little bit since then. She just has the one full-time job. But I would love for you guys to just like hear from her and be able to ask her your questions about just having like an insane schedule if you're a student or if you're a full-time worker. So I think you can unmute yourself. I can unmute you if you can't, but
I got it.
okay.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. So, hi. So as Hope said, I definitely was crazy busy and kind of just always have been insanely busy. I tend to do that to myself. I like to pile everything on and
she likes to say yes to everything and then be like, wait, I can't actually do all of this in a day.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happens. But so for me, I just, when I think back to last year and where I was, you know, being a student and interning and working, and I'm
here for a while?
Yeah.
Like, I can change channel?
Yeah. Sorry guys.
The craziness never stops.
Yeah.
It's great. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, no, and I also, yeah, I'm a girlfriend, and so like I'm also trying to spend time with my boyfriend in between all of the 9,000 things I have going on. So, but anyways, so for me, when I think back to when I was super busy between like interning and working and you know, being a full-time student trying to graduate, pretty much my train of thought was every spare moment I had, I was using that to work. Because, and I mean like by spare moment, I don't necessarily mean like I was filled with like moments where I like got to sit down and do like power hours for, you know, an hour 3 times a day. I mean like I was walking to class and I was posting, and then like I was in the bathroom and I was messaging. Like I would wake up 10 minutes earlier. I would stay up 15 minutes later. So pretty much I was just making time wherever I could. Because literally we know that no matter where you're at, if you have your phone and you have, you know, access to the internet, you know, or you have service, you can access your social media. So you can be using that time to work, you know, standing in line at Starbucks, you know, I would be busy working my business, you know. So pretty much my thing is just making sure that you are really utilizing that time. Like just be conscious, like, or conscientious, that's the word, I can't even say it. Like just be aware, I guess, of like time that you have in the day that you might necessarily feel like, you know, you might think I don't have any time during the day, but just really sit down and try to think about what goes on in your day. Try to plan out, like, getting to work early for me was a big thing, because I don't know about you guys, but working in the car has just always been like a big thing for me. I get to sit in silence. Nobody bugs me. So I sit there in my car and I would get to work early. I still do it to this day. I usually get to work like 20 minutes early, make my first few posts in the morning, send out some messages. On my lunch break, I go out and sit in my car. And again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just utilizing what little time I have. I'm making use of it. And I make it a priority. I make it a priority. Like, I need to be doing these things every day. So like for me, the absolute minimum I need to do, like for myself, is I need to at least be posting 2 to 3 times a day on my social media. I need to be following people and adding new people. And I need to be making sure that I'm sending out my messages and contacting people, whether that's sending out new messages or sending out messages to anyone who showed interest on anything I'd posted throughout the day or within the last few days. If I, for some reason didn't have a really good day the day before and didn't get those messages out, just making sure that I'm utilizing that time. So lately, I feel like a big help for me has been, I feel like live posts are just, I've always felt like those are so important. So just making sure that, things that do take a little bit longer, if you're going to have a busy day, try to draft that kind of stuff or plan for that stuff the night before. So like having posts just kind of queued up in your notes section. So all you have to do is copy and paste and attach a picture to it the next day, like when you're busy. that's totally like makes a huge difference for me, you know, because then you don't really have to, you know, sit down and what am I going to write today about my green?
I just talked about that, Danielle, just how that literally just like, if you're, I don't know, if you're busy and you're like frantic and your brain is like like you don't even feel like you have a brain, like how do you expect to write a post in any kind of timely manner? Like sometimes even now, like I have all the time in the world and it still takes me an hour to write a life post. So like you have to just, when you're in that brain space of writing posts, just write a bunch of them. Like it was kind of like in the social media mastery class last week, Jade was talking about writing 20 things you could do with $100, 15 things you could do with $500, and like 10 things you could do with $1,000, or like whatever she said. And that's like queued up. That's like 45 life posts that are just like ready in your phone. Just sit down and like write them. So I totally agree. Setting things up in advance.
And then also, I just think a big thing is just like not overthinking it. Like sometimes your posts don't have to be like this giant, like long old paragraph that tells like your whole outline of from the day you were born to now. Like, it doesn't have to
it can literally be a picture of you like just anywhere and just saying like, grateful that this is my office today.
Yeah.
And that's your whole, with some cute emojis. Like, and that's your entire post.
And the same thing with your product posts. Like, you know, like sometimes simple is better because not everybody is taking the time to read your posts. So like you want to appeal to people that like need like a quick, like 2 sentences.
I was just going to say like the difference between a post, like where you're like holding a coffee mug and you're like, I just got in my keto coffee. Keto coffee has MCT oil, collagen, grass-fed butter, this many milligrams of caffeine, or you just say, sipping on my skinny coffee while I get ready for the day. People are going to be like, what's skinny coffee?
Yeah.
Skinny coffee? What is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't say MCT oil and grass-fed butter and all this other stuff, but like, I still made it like intriguing.
Yeah.
And that's a way easier post to write than
less is more. Like that's the thing. Sometimes less is more. In that instance, when you're making posts like that, I would say less is more because you're getting that curiosity where people are like, wait, what is this? Like, as opposed to you know, listing off like 10 benefits of whatever, because eventually
I'm sure you guys have all seen that post that's like, signs your body needs a cleanse. And there's like a list of like 15 things. And it's like, reduces fatigue, helps with bad breath, reduces bloating. And it just like goes on and on and on and on and on. Like you could just say it's a botanical 2-day cleanse. Who wants to reset your system? Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, I think that's awesome. So yeah, we were just talking about like breaking up your business into smaller pieces, finding those free seconds, using your time wisely. Don't get stuck in the scroll hole. Go on your phone and delete anything that's going to like distract you.
Yeah. I don't have like, I think distractions is a big thing too. Just being aware of when you are being distracted, because I think we're on social media and social media can get distracting. And there are times where I find myself scrolling and I'm not being productive. I'm just scrolling. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to be on here, I need to be commenting. I need to be interacting. I need to be adding new people, you know. And I think another big thing is like setting those minimums. Hope and I talked about this a couple weeks, but like it's been really beneficial just like for my own self. Like I feel better about myself when I have these minimums, because then I at least know like, okay, maybe I didn't have a great day, but I at least did my bare minimums and I still got a lot done. I still like my minimums are, I want to add 100 people at the very least every day on Instagram. I want to add 50 people at the very least on Facebook every day. And I want to be sending out 50 messages. So, and that's awesome. Like bare minimum. So that's like on a bad day, like that's like, okay, look, I can send out 50 messages. I can add 100 people and I can do that. Like, you know, so every day that I do more, like I feel like I killed it today, you know?
Right. Right. And that's a huge, I mean, and we did talk about daily minimums, and I talked about like how to set them, how to find them, how to change them if they're not working for you, like all this stuff. But what you just reminded me of, and what I think I want to kind of like close this out with, is like, fall in love and feel good about your business just from the effort that you're putting into it. Do not wait to get the results that you want to feel good about your business. Does that make sense? If you're waiting for that $5,000 paycheck to feel good about your business, you're never going to make a $5,000 paycheck. If you're waiting to see that $200 paycheck before you feel good about this business, you're not going to see that $200 paycheck. You have to feel good about it first. You have to say, you know what? I killed it today. I sent out my messages. I added my people. I put up my posts. Today was a good day, and I feel good about my business. Even if you didn't sign a customer, even if you didn't sign a distributor, even if you didn't like get somebody messaging you out of the blue asking about your business, like, you still put in the effort. And that is what you should feel good about. Like, let's start basing our success and how successful we feel, not off of enrollments, but off of how hard we're working. Because the more you love to work hard, the harder you're going to work. And the harder you work, the better results you're going to get. And it's really just that plain and simple. The more that you fall in love with, I am so hyped that I sent 200 messages today. I am so stoked that I gained 50 new followers on my Instagram today. Instead of going, oh, well, I didn't sign a customer today. I didn't sign a customer today. I have not signed a distributor yet in January. Here I am. You know what I mean? I still feel good about my business, and I'm still getting new potentials every day. And I have names on names on names in my planner for the next 4 weeks. So I'm not sitting here feeling bad about my business because Allie's already finished her steps to success and I haven't. Like, I'm sitting here like proud that I'm messaging and proud that I'm doing these trainings for you guys and proud of the work that I'm putting in on a daily basis. And it's that positivity and energy and just start being happy with the work. What we do is fun. Here I am talking about income producing activities and daily minimums and time management. What we do is fun. It's fun to talk to new people. It's fun to post on social media. Like, make it fun and have fun doing it. And I think the rest kind of follows after that.
Yeah. I'd say like just focusing on what you are doing to build your business and like, you know, everything that is moving you forward. Don't focus on what you haven't done yet. Like, don't focus on like, I haven't signed a customer yet, you know, focus on like, just like you said, I sent 200 messages today. I got 10 new names in my planner, you know what I mean? Like, those are the
and that
things
honestly, guys, that is literally how I've been gauging my business. How many new names did I get in my phone today? That is how I know if I did a good job or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at your GV, don't look at your paycheck, don't look at your current team and decide if you're successful or not. Look at how much work you're putting in on a daily, consistent basis. Success is a decision. Success is not something that happens. You decide to be successful, and then you are successful. I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing with you guys. Thank you, Danielle, for hopping on. I know it was like last minute, but I really, really do. I appreciate all of you getting on. If you guys have more questions, if you have more questions about like time management or IPA or daily minimums, please feel free to follow me on Facebook at Hope Weston. Shoot me a message. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with me. See you guys later. Bye.